Since you're offering, why don't you come to my room? I thought of something you can do for me.
Your room? Are you redecorating? Or moving out?
You're really oblivious, huh? I don't know what to do with you, Caspar.
Hey, this is War Crimes. Welcome to Should You Deploy, a one-off video that won't be turning into a series because holy fuck, I am so bad at scripting comedy, if you couldn't tell from the intro. But seriously though, the Fire Emblem community hates on Caspar way too much, and I want to take a good look at what makes him very strong on maddening difficulty. So basically, everyone knows that Caspar has 6 base speed, which makes him totally unusable, right? You know. Sure, he gets doubled by everything, but so does everyone else, minus the 2 or 3 speed demons in the game, and even they get blasted by early sword bandits. No, what makes Caspar so great is that he needs virtually no investment to be incredibly strong, and he scales very well as you get later and later into the game. So besides his atrocious 6 base speed, what sets Caspar apart? Well, he's got decent strength at 9, decent HP at 26, and pretty good defense at 6, but he has 8 base luck, which is tied for the highest in the game. Compounding this is a quite nice 40% luck growth, which is actually very high for anyone not named Ignatz or Shamir. He also has a top tier 55% HP growth, which pairs very nicely with his 45% strength to keep him relevant and active on the front lines. His personal ability, Born Fighter, is excellent as well, giving -10 avoid to any enemy he's adjacent to. Against bosses or evasive units, or the early game in general, this is basically a +10 to hit for anyone that attacks that unit, which is very nice when battles often turn on low probability attacks. He also has some very, very good combat arts. 2 in particular stand out, Bombard and Mighty Blow. Caspar has access to Bombard at C+ Brawl. It gives +3 damage and +10 crit, and is a brave combat art that strikes twice, guaranteed on any enemy. And that comes out to +6 damage overall, which is quite a ways ahead of most C+ combat arts, and the extra crit is very, very good on Caspar, thanks to his high base luck. Mighty Blow is similar to Bombard, though it only unlocks for Caspar at A Brawling. For -5 hit, Caspar gains 20% crit and a whopping 10 might. When you're fishing for crits to take down high value or high HP targets, Mighty Blow can be an extremely valuable asset, and its high base damage can lead to huge damage numbers. This is going to sound like sacrilege, but when you get Caspar, set his initials to Axe and Faith. Yes, Faith, not Authority. You're aiming for Axe D+, and Faith C, after which you can switch to Axe and Brawl. Once you hit B+ Axe, change over to Brawl and Authority, and keep him there for the rest of the game. So why train Faith? Well, Caspar, like any red-blooded shonen protagonist, has a Bane in Reason, and since he's great in brawling classes, he really wants the class mastery skill for War Cleric, Brawl Avo +20. This, stacked with Brawl Prowess level 5, gives Caspar a whopping +40 avoid to work with, which makes his high HP last even longer on the battlefield. When combined with the Grappler Mastery skill, Tomebreaker, and a few other boosts that we'll touch on later, Caspar can become incredibly difficult to hit for even the toughest enemies in the game. Your basic class progression will look like this: Commoner, Fighter, Brigand for Deathblow, War Cleric for Brawl Avo, Grappler for Tomebreaker, and finally War Master, because it's just super strong. Caspar really wants 2 things from his gear, crit and avoid. Since you won't be training his authority early, he's a natural candidate for the Geralt's Mercenaries Battalion, which gives 10 crit and 15 avoid. Once he hits B Authority, the late game Brigid Hunters Battalion provides similarly excellent boosts at B Authority. Caspar is also a top contender for your evasion rings, since he makes a good dodge tank with his high HP stat and passable speed growth, allowing him to tank any hits that sneak through his dodging. As far as boosters go, the best booster for Caspar is the Goddess Icon, which gives 4 luck. Throwing 2 to 3 of these onto Caspar will massively improve his crit chance and his evasion, leaving your other boosters free for the rest of your team. By the time Caspar hits level 30, his build should look something like this: Axe Fair, Fist Fair, and Crit plus 20 from War Master, alongside Brawl Avo from War Cleric, Brawl Prowess, Tonebreaker from Brawler, Fist Fair, and Brawl Crit plus 10. He should be equipped with Geralt's Mercenaries, and a Void Ring, and Killer Knuckles Plus. Overall, this build will provide 65 Avoid, which jumps to 85 Avoid versus Magic, and 70 Crit on top of Caspar's base stats. Between his early hitting power with Bombard and his mid to late game dodge tanking potential, Caspar is a very overlooked unit that has a lot to offer despite his speed. His damage output stays consistently high with little investment, thanks to how crit happy he is, and he can be remarkably resilient against virtually every enemy you throw at him. So, like the intro asked, should you deploy Caspar? Yes. So I have to shout out Crimson Core LOL, an absolutely excellent streamer who showed me the fundamentals of using Caspar through analyzing his stats relative to the rest of the cast. I can't recommend his Twitch streams enough, so drop a follow or a sub at twitch.tv/CrimsonCoreLOL if you're on the lookout for an analytically minded Fire Emblem streamer. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, drop a comment, like, and subscribe. Seriously, chatting with you guys helps keep me sane. Anyway, have a good one.